What are you seeing?
Just too many sacks. Didn't throw the ball great. Not a good average yards per play. Held the ball a lot longer than they did. Not very clean.
What did you think when you on that fourth down here when the front team's not coming out and they're putting it in your hands?
Just thought, gotta go execute. I appreciate Coach DeBoer and Coach Grubb for giving us the green light. We have tons of confidence in our guys and big time players make big time plays in big time games. Latia Brooks is a big time player. As a freshman, that dude's unreal. His work ethic, the way he plays. 95-11, but he plays like he's 6'5". So hats off to him, man. What a great player,
What did you see on that play?
Yeah, they, of course, everybody knows the 2 weeks to prepare, right? But the coverage, they played two-man, and they hadn't really shown two-man except on two-minute and special situations, right? Once we shift, and I kind of knew, all right, what the defensive, coverage was, and then I knew, they were going to be in trail, and so, the Tyline did a great job of clearing it out right. Latia Brooks made a good move, good route, get open, and I just put it where he could, try to catch it, man. Like I said, he's a big time player.
How crucial was it for the offense today to extend drives and keep the ball out of their hands?
Yeah, it was very crucial. I thought we did a good job in the first half, but a terrible job in the second half. I told the guys in there, I got after it. I was just like, we got to be better, and it starts with me. I can't come out, in the second half, right, fumble it, first play, and then they score. Like that game shouldn't have been, it should have been put away a long time ago. That's disappointing on my part. We're such a good offense, but we just got to be better in the second half, right? Like we had a lot of things going in the first, and we just got to put it away.
There was some clear frustration on the sideline after certain plays. What does it take, or how do you mentally approach regrouping after something kind of not
Yeah, it just got to go 1-0, right? That's our motto. Every new drive, every new play is a different play. You can't throw out the pass, right? Like I miss a lot of throws, missed a lot of protection checks, picked up some protection checks, made some throws, right? But you just got to keep playing, right? This team is such a tough team. All we do is fight. 3 top 25 team games, and they all come down to really the wire, right? That's hard to do. SEC is pretty much like a pro station. A lot of good players, a lot of good teams, and we just got to keep fighting every week. But we got to get better. We got to go in tomorrow. We got to clean some things up because we're going to get a good team next week.
And then another potential top 15 matchup too. Is that just like it out now?
That's why we came here. That's why I stayed. Watching the SEC. And I told them, right, like, good. That's what we want. That's what we came here for. It's going to make us better in the long run. But we can't play like we did. We got to play a lot better.
You grew
up in the state of Tennessee too. So what does that game mean?
Yeah, it of course, like growing up, right. Big knew about Tennessee and Big Orange, right. But I don't want to say it's personal by any means, right? Like it's just another game. I'm not going to make it bigger than what it is, right? This is a really good team coming in here, really good defense, really good offense, right? So we know what happened last year, but it's just like the Jenga League, right? We're not going to make it about last year. It's going to be about this year, right? We need to take care of what we need to do. We need to get better. And then we need to evaluate ourselves, right? Because we didn't play clean. It's point period, point blank. So we got to get better, and I gotta make some adjustments because I didn't play well at all either.
What do you think it means for you guys when you get a couple of guys go down with the injury, including Jam, and then Ryan Williams obviously being limited, but to still be able to make the big plays you guys really make?
I got the big guys step up. You know what I mean? Like we got a lot of depth in a lot of positions, right? And we're a good team. And really, really proud of those guys, right? Like Michael Carroll, Will Sanders, Latsier, Wilkin, Formby, Rico Scott, like guys like that, step up and make big time plays. Derek man, he got hurt, right? But he makes that catch a lot. So just really, really proud of those guys, and we're going to need next week.
What were you thinking as you're punting down here and they're taking the field and the game's kind of out of your hands at that point?
Yeah, right? Like it's all up to God. You know what I mean? I prayed a little bit. just total, just like whatever happens, happens. But I have a ton of confidence in our defense. They bailed us out on a lot. That's a good offense. It's, that back is the real deal, man. And the quarterback Bo, like he can run around. Like they got some good players on that team. So hats off to the defense. They got us out of a lot of. Bailed us out a lot, man. Bijan Lee came up big. Bray Hubbard came up big, 2 turnovers. But we got to help them out, right? That's a good offense. They're the number 1, rushing offense in the country, right? Held them under 150 yards, something like that. That's impressive.
Last 2 for Ty.
You mentioned Bray Hubbard just now. Just what would you see from his game? I mean, he let up a touchdown, he missed a tackle, and then he had 2 big plays later on. Just what did you see from him?
Yeah, dude keeps playing. He's a baller. You're going to dwell. That's a tough team. Stuff's going to happen. It's a heavyweight fight each week. Bring some punches. That's a good offense. So you got to keep playing. You got to trust me in the offense that we're going to go make a play. I got to trust the defense. Make sure they're going to go make a play. It's just how football is.
Ty, you guys talk about being unbreakable. What was the most maybe unbreakable moment today that you saw from your teammates?
The 4th down. Nobody flinched whatsoever. You know what I mean? They knew it was 2 men. They were bringing a bunch of pressure off the edge. Tackles anchored down. Parker in the interior made sure that we were going to get this ball off. And Lester looked made a good play. And then even though they went down and got a field goal, right? That pick on 3rd down to pretty much seal the game. That's what Alabama football is, right? We're going to keep punching. We're going to make sure that we play together and we're always running because I got their back and we got each other's back.
Thanks, everybody.